Hello, everyone, and welcome to the BookShark orientation. My name is Mrs. Milky, and I'm going to be your instructor during this fourth quarter. The first thing I want to do in this video is thank you for joining me. Thank you for trying something new. We actually started BookShark this school year with level 3 and level 4. Next year, we have the privilege of adding on levels 1 and 2. So this video, I'm going to be going through level 2, just showing you where to find things, how to submit. I know that Canvas could be new to some of you, using it exclusively. You may be using it for math and focus, maybe not. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knows where to find what they need. So take some time to watch this video, and if you have any questions, please let me know. So during this video, most of the time I'm going to be sharing my screen. That way I can show you what you need to know, and that way hopefully you can find everything on your end. So hopefully now you can see my dashboard in Canvas. And by the way, while I'm making this video, it is moving up to middle school week. So there's an announcement at the top of the page. Any school-wide announcements go on this dashboard page. Individual course announcements you can find right in the individual courses. So I'm going to scroll down to where my courses are listed. And I am going to start here with Language Arts 2. What you might notice on my dashboard, though, is that I have a lot of courses listed. And that's because I'm an instructor. So I have a lot of courses that I grade work for and teach. You're not going to have that many on your student's dashboard. So don't get concerned. You're probably going to have 3 or 4 icons versus the amount that I have here. So let's go ahead and open up Language Arts 2. And all you do is simply click on it, put it up, and that'll take you to the home. It should find on the home page. Then you have my name, my email address, my home office number, and my school office number. There, everything loaded. And this is where this video is actually going to be posted in a little while after I get it done. So my home office is where I am most of the time. But typically on Mondays, I go out to school, and you can find me in the school office on Mondays. So the home page of every course looks almost exactly the same. What I'm going to do now is switch to student view so that yours looks like what you're seeing looks like what I'm showing you, because I had a lot more tabs here as an instructor, so it'll help here to kind of narrow it down for you. So the next tab is the announcements, and that's where I'll put up really important information that you need to know. Right now, it's just a thank you, letting you know that I thank you for joining me in this BookShark pilot. I wanted to put an announcement in there just so that it would be available and you would be able to see what it looks like. So you can go ahead and read the announcements. Anytime that I post them, it should show up with like a little number here, like a 1, letting you know that you should go in and look at the announcements. The modules tab is where you're going to find all of the students' lessons. And it is set up week 1, day 1, week 1, day 2, week 1, day 3, week 1, day 4. So you'll notice that it's a 4-day-a-week program. So if you want to work Monday through Thursday and then do your assignments on Friday, you can do it that way. Or if you want to work your way through the week and do your assignments within those 4 days, that's completely up to you. However it works for you is fine with me. So to get to the first lesson, you simply click on week 1, day 1, and that's going to bring up this really long lesson. Now, let me tell you that this quarter, rather than the first quarter, and we found that the parents sometimes didn't know why they were doing what they were doing. So we decided this year that when we did the pilot, we were going to pilot first quarter of the curriculum so that you can see why you're doing what you're doing. I noticed up here, Explode the Code is another book we use. Owl at Home is a book that the kids are going to be reading. So then I usually put those in orange just to make them stand out. Vocabulary development, creative expression is the writing section. mechanics practice, all that stuff. And at the end of day 1 of each week, I always do list or give you the activity sheet. You can find the activity sheets in the instructor guides that will come to you from BookShark. But I do also include it online, just in case you would need to print it if you feel that your son or daughter needs to start over or whatever it happens to be. So you can always access an extra copy here. So that you get to the end of day 1. To go on to day 2, you can hit the next button, or you can go back to the modules tab and click on day 2. You can get to it either way. So you can pretend that it's now the next day and you're ready for lesson 2. You'll notice lesson 2 is not nearly as long because they're not giving you all that background information anymore. So you just work your way through. Now, these are also in your instructor manual. So if you feel more comfortable using the instructor manual, you can do that. But if you want to travel and you don't want to take those big books along, here you go. You can access what you need right here online in the modules tab. The modules tab is also where you're going to be submitting the students' work. So each week, I think each week, there is a writing assignment to turn in. So this one happens to be called Describe an Animal. And when you open it up, it says, use the information from yesterday's brainstorming session to describe your animal in a short paragraph. Submit your paragraph in this drop box. Your student may choose to type his or her paragraph, or you may submit a scanned copy that he or she wrote on paper. So either way, if your student wants to start typing, they have the ability to do it right here. If they feel more comfortable writing it out and you scan it in, that works for me too. To submit the assignment, you click submit, and then it's going to ask you, how do you want to turn it in? Is it a file upload? So did you type it like in Microsoft Word and save it on your computer? Then you would need to do it right here, right in this box here, edit. Or did you do it in Google Docs? If you did it in Google Docs, you would click the website URL, take the URL and copy and paste it here, and then submit it. So I don't care how you submit these writing assignments, as long as you get them in each week, per week. Well, I'm trying to get it to go. There we go. So Describe an Animal is week 1. Week 2 is called Like What? Week 3 is called A Fairy Tale Dialogue. Week 4, Owl's New Job. No matter which one it is, when you click on it, it'll tell you what needs to be submitted and how it's going to be graded. The Grades tab is the last one, and that's where you see the grade book. So you can see Describe an Animal is due April 5th. Like What is due April 12th. The Fairy Tale Dialogue is due April 17th. Once you submit it, this dash is going to turn to an icon. That will let you know that it's submitted and it's waiting for Mrs. Milky to score it. Once it's scored, I believe it's going to show up as a check mark or an X. A check mark meaning it's complete, and X meaning incomplete, and you maybe need to go back. And if that's the case, I'll always leave you a comment and let you know what I'm looking for and what needs to be redone. Now you're going to notice there's a whole lot more assignments here. You're not going to worry about those. You're only going to worry about the ones that are listed. I will try to get them out, but because we wrote this for next year, we want those in there for that. So I might leave those there and you just need to ignore them. You're only going to worry about what's here in the grade book that has a date attached to it. So that is language arts. Now I'm going to leave student view so that I can show you science. We'll go to science next. And I can't do that within student view. So again, the home page looks exactly the same as it looked in language arts. The announcement is exactly the same for now. We go to the modules tab here and you'll see just a little bit of difference. And that's everything is set up the same with week 1, day 1, week 1, day 2, week 1, day 3. But you'll see that each week here, you're going to turn in the activity sheet. So if I go to week 1, day one, you're going to notice that on day one, just like in language arts, it gives you an activity sheet. I think when I'm making a video, it like slows it down. And it doesn't go. So on day one, use the Usborne Book of Knowledge and read pages 52 and 53. By the way, it won't be this slow at your home. So it's just because I'm making a video, I'm sure, because it doesn't typically go that slow. But if you go into the Dropbox and click Submit Assignment, it will allow you to choose how you want to submit that. So depending on how you save your scan, you go ahead and you submit it here. I did not give you those other, like the text box entry and the URL, because I know that those will be scans, because they're like a worksheet that the kids are going to fill out and then turn in. So grades tab is the same. Again, there'll be extra assignments listed there. You only need to worry about weeks 1 through 9. You don't have to worry about 10 through 18. That's why there's no due dates listed for those. All right, getting to social studies then. In social studies, again, same homepage, same announcements. When you get to the modules tab, what you're going to notice in social studies is that you're going to answer 2 questions a week. So you're going to do week 1, day 1. Again, same lesson setup. It'll tell you exactly what to do. You just work your way through the lesson. And then when you get about halfway through the week, when you're done with day 2, I would like you to answer this question, and I will always have a question for you. So it says, so far this week, you have read a lot of information in the Usborne Book of World History. What is one thing you learned so far that you did not know before? And explain. Now, for these discussion questions in social studies, the children have to answer them right here in Canvas. So they click the reply button and they type their answer in here. Now, you might be thinking, hey, there's state standardized online testing. So that was one of our motivations for doing BookShark right in Canvas and having them type some of the things that they need to put, that they need to submit, because we want them to be prepared and not be afraid of the keyboard when they come to state testing. So if you need to help them at the beginning, go for it and help them. After they put their answer in here, they click post reply. And at that point, they'll be able to see the answers of the other children in their class. Up to that point, they will not be able to see the answers of the other children. So that is how you maneuver BookShark. The other thing I want to show you is the calendar. That is where your pacing guide is. I know a lot of you have worked in Little Lincoln and K-12 or Calvert, and you are used to having a pacing guide. Your pacing guide is going to be right here in Canvas. So this happens to be the pacing guide for Social Studies 2. So you've got week 1, day 1 on April 1st. April 2nd is week 1, day 2, week 1, day 3, week 1, day 4. And you can see that where your questions are due each week. And that goes all the way through to the end of May, where we hit the end of week 9. And we do have actually one more week of school after that. So what I did is I just made those catch-up days. So if you do get a little bit behind and you need a couple days to catch up at the end, you have a few extra days at the end to do that. So that is all of the things that I was hoping to show you in this video. Like I said at the beginning of the video, thank you so much for joining me during 4th quarter. If you need any help or you're not sure where to find something, please let me know. Just to give you a little idea of my busy schedule in the spring, I'm also the assessment coordinator at Wisconsin Virtual Learning. I'm both curriculum and assessment. So one of my jobs is to make sure that we are compliant with our state standardized testing, which actually leads me out of my office quite often during the spring. So if you email me and you get a reply saying that I'm out of the office that day, that doesn't mean that you won't hear back from me. It just might be delayed a little bit. So just go on with your day, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Again, thanks for joining me. Have a great fourth quarter, and please let me know if you need any help.